difficult. Welcome back to Trailer Trash Talk Hurricane League Fantasy Talk. This is a special episode, and we have a special guest with us again, Blake. So Blake, tell me why you wanted to put this special episode together.
I don't know if there was any particular reason I wanted to put it together, but I thought it was a fun time. It's an interesting week. So.
It is an interesting week. Well, since there seems to be no game plan that you had put together for this special episode, let me go ahead and ask you right off the top the question that's on everybody's mind right now. Do you feel like it was morally acceptable to pick up Alvin Kamara from the waiver wire after he had been cut in a move that was potentially meant to jettison or devastate the natural order of things in this league? We're going to assume, since we haven't had confirmation one way or the other, that Brian was being a bit of what you may call a douchebag and dropped his first round draft pick in order to fuck with the balance of the four teams remaining in contention for one thing or another.
Yeah.
So that was a yes. You do think it's immoral.
No.
That is interesting.
No, not at all.
I mean, you let off with a yes.
No, that's not how it happened, but, you know.
That's not how what happened.
With immoral thoughts. I mean, I was like, hey, you know what, I'm in the shit bowl. I gotta really be surfing the waiver, so I happened to get on. I was like, what the fuck? So then I checked the recent activity, and I see Brian dropped Kamara, so...
So what were your initial thoughts when you saw that Brian...
Brian has nothing to lose at this point, so I'm like, why would he do that? I'm not really sure. I mean, so definitely to stir some shit for sure.
I tell you what, let me make sure that this microphone is on, because if not, this has been a whole lot of nothing so far. It actually is on. Okay. All right. I
didn't just edit this part out.
Maybe. Let's see what I'll be like later.
So yeah, I mean, I thought it was kind of interesting. I mean,
it was interesting.
So I put a claim in. I mean, I feel like for anybody that was on the waiver, I'm sure I wasn't the only one to put a claim in either.
So let me ask you.
Did you put a claim in?
Number one, it does not matter if I put a claim in.
Did you put a claim
for
in?
Alvin Kamara?
Did you put a claim in?
You put a claim in.
Oh, absolutely.
Since you're way worse than I am as a fantasy manager, you had a much higher priority on the waiver claim list, because that's how that shit works. So, we will never know. We will never... Who had first...
Management had nothing to do with it. Since I did lose, yes, I did have first pick.
Who had first priority on the waiver wire this week?
I did too, but I didn't realize that until after the fact.
You didn't realize what?
That I had first pick.
How bad of a fantasy manager are you?
We've discussed this. I'm not a bad manager. I mean, I get lost of time sometimes.
How many times have you competed in the shit bowl?
This is my third. Yeah.
Don't we still owe you a punishment?
Look, it's not.
I don't know why you keep running from it. And now you've run yourself into another. So are you going to be getting a wax along with Justin?
No, fuck no.
What?
Oh, so wait, back up. That was not what was discussed prior to this.
Are you saying Justin has bigger balls than you?
So are you saying Justin's losing? Are you
saying Justin... Well, as of right now, I think Justin is technically losing.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, are you projecting him to lose completely?
Well, more than likely, since you seem to have gained an unfair competitive advantage by getting a free first-round quality draft pick to add to your bench. Which, you know what, technically is not against the rules, but we may have to address this in the off-season, because Brian has achieved what I think he wanted and swayed the balance of whatever matchup whoever picked Alvin Kamara up was in.
I feel like this conversation would be going completely different had you picked him up on your claim.
You're right. It would be going different had I or someone with some sort of moral compass picked him up Because then he
Are
would
you
be
saying I don't have
riding.
moral compass? Like, it was in my best interest to do that, and anybody in my position would have been like, oh, fuck, look at this. Let me pick this dude up.
Are you competing right now with a team that was 100% drafted and in a reasonable basis or fair basis put together by you?
Me? Oh, yeah. I did pretty decent, I feel like. I've had some...
Hold on.
bad
First of all, everything so far since I've asked my question has been completely false. You've been pretty decent this year.
That's
You're in the
subjective.
shit bowl. It's not subjective.
I've beat Dusty, and you're playing him in the championship, so not many people could say they beat Dusty this
I
year.
beat Dusty this year. A lot of people beat Dusty this year because Dusty wasn't here for half the fucking year.
And there's a lot of weeks that I've outscored a lot of you fuckers out there, so...
There's a lot of weeks where you've come in around 113 or so.
There was 2 weeks I came in low 100s or under sub 100, so I don't deny that. But there was a lot of times when I lost and I could have won against anybody else except the opponent I was playing.
You have the fantasy app up right now. Out of curiosity, because I don't know the answer, where do you rank in points for the year out of the league?
Let's see.
Should be, standings. These nuts. How many points do you have there?
1666?
Okay, let's see who is under you as far as points
Oh,
scored.
so,
Who has less points scored than 1666? Let's see. I have 1769.
You also have 1,867 points against you.
How many do you have against you?
Oh, less than that. 1671.
Which means that you should have won more fucking games. You had less
I'm
points
saying-
put up against
you know what?
you.
If we
I had 200 more points scored against me over a 13-week season.
My number one pick has been out all this season except for 3 fucking games.
You're
And
right.
Gronk, we've talked about Gronk before. He's been a bust this year.
Well,
Hey, I
you
don't
should
know-
have never drafted Gronk.
No,
when
fuck you, because you tried to
drafted
pick him up. You were going to pick him up. You're like, you should drop
I was
him.
going to pick him up and without using a draft pick on him, I was going to pick him up off the waiver wires. I planned on taking Gronk in like the 10th round because I didn't think anybody would take him in the fucking, 5th round or whatever you took him in?
If Gronk had just went back into the NFL, that's one thing. I mean, but it was, it was the Gronk-Brady duo, so... I mean, I had to. There was a chance. I didn't know he was going to be a fucking blocker for most of the year. But hey, look at today's game. That's why I picked him up. Could be worse. I could be playing 2 tight ends on the lineup.
Which I think we have addressed before. And unless he has changed the rotation of tight ends, the best tight end on his roster is on his bench still. Is Mark Andrews in Justin's lineup this week, Blake?
1 second here.
Or is it Hayden Hurst and some other fucker again?
Mark Andrews is on his lineup.
Oh, he is in his lineup?
Yep.
All right, good job, Justin. I guess you're actively trying not to lose.
But he also has Tanya on there, too.
Robert Tanya? Really? Really? You're starting Robert Tanya?
The only benefit he has to that is that Rodgers is my quarterback.
I'm sorry. I know you're playing this dude this week, but Justin, you're starting Robert Tonyan at tight end and Mark Andrews. You're starting 2 tight ends, one of them being Robert Tonyan. You have Gio Bernard, who scored 20-something points last week. Somebody did a pickup. There was another running back there. You've got CeeDee Lamb, Dallas Goedert. You have so many people that are better than a fucking tight end. God. He is I think he's either a masochist. Oh, that piece of shit Dusty dropped Clyde Edwards-Helaire and picked up Dale Henderson Jr. Fuck you, Dusty.
Plot
Fuck
twist.
you.
Plot twist.
Fuck you. Daryl Henderson's a piece of shit. Yeah, I hope you start him. I hope you start Daryl Henderson. He's going to not do shit for you.
Yeah. Plot twist. Is that the first fucking activity I've seen from Dustin all year in the activity log?
Probably. Illegitimate.
Hey, so, yeah, no, I mean, if anybody in my situation, they would have did the same thing. So
Really?
I mean,
Really?
yeah.
So anybody in your situation
Hey!
would abandon all morals, would abandon all fairness.
Fairness. Who knew he was gonna fucking score 60 points this week? He was projected at like 20 something.
I knew he was going to score over 40 this week.
60 points though, I mean, 6 touchdowns. Tied for the most rushing touchdowns in a single game ever.
I figured once I saw that bald prick dropped him onto the waivers that he was going to have a monster week this week, which he did.
I mean, like, if I could have got Zeke, I would have picked Zeke just to play Justin.
I wish you would have dropped Zeke. I wish you could have played Zeke. I hope that Brian is in a situation soon where he is in the playoffs, or either in the championship or in the shit bowl, so I can drop like anybody good I have to try and fuck him over. Just, you know, because, and so you're feeling pretty confident, right?
Yeah, I'm looking pretty good right now. We'll see how Rodgers and Jones does.
So if I'm correct, you got what, 120 points between 3 players right now?
Yep, sure do.
Only 60 of them legitimate?
We're gonna see how this plays out because I mean, I was feeling confident prior to this, so we'll see how this plays out, and then we'll take Kamara out of the equation and see if I still would have won either way.
Oh, so you're saying that what we can do is take Kamara's points away from your point total?
No, that's what I'm saying.
And then we'll see who gets waxed after that?
No.
I tell you what. We'll do you a favor better than what you just said. I'm not just taking his points away. I'm going to take his points away and then add in the points of your next highest scoring player on your team. So it could be a net positive depending on what happens next week.
I said I'm feeling confident. I mean, I did beat Justin 2 weeks ago.
You just said we could take away
That's not what I know. That's not what
That is exactly what you just said.
I said we'll see how it plays out, and then at the end of it, we'll see if Kamara was relevant to my win or not.
Yeah. Let me think. Is a 60-point outing in week 1 of a 2-week matchup going to be relevant to me winning or not? Let me think on that.
Look, it's not my fault Brady got taken out of the game after halftime today, okay?
I just can't believe the...
Are we going to talk about Gronk got 2 touchdowns today? Evans got 2 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. You had 2 players that did pretty well. You had 2 players that you fairly acquired and
I chose to put Evans in this week, and I haven't been playing him. I've been holding on to him.
Maybe that's why you're in the ship.
Nah, not at all.
You've had him on your bench for some big fucking games this year.
And there's a lot of fucking games where he hasn't done shit. So
that's when management comes into play.
Oh, okay. Regardless of the team or the defense he's playing, you just never know when Brady's gonna throw him the ball or not. So I mean, they had a pretty fucking big point spread today. So I mean, every fucking receiver and running back on the team scored today. Some days it's just one person. Some days it's 2 people. Kind of like Jordan had Godwin sitting on his bench. I mean, his game's irrelevant, but I mean, Godwin's sitting on his bench, fucking racking up a ton of points.
Do you know how relieved Jordan is after having possibly one of the shittiest seasons you could imagine to not be in the shit bowl right now? I mean, he had everything that could have gone wrong for him this year go wrong. There were weeks.
Oh, let's not talk about McCaffrey being fucking taken out at the beginning of the season. Oh, that wasn't going wrong. You know, I didn't have a strain of bad luck. No, not at all.
I'm sorry, Blake. I forgot to mention, Blake is the first fantasy owner that's ever had an injury happen that has affected one of his fantasy players that was important to him. Let's go back to that.
I felt like I did pretty good other than that, you know?
So you're saying that Christian McCaffrey
would have
is
made
the
a whole
sole
difference.
He's the sole reason that you lost, that you're in the shit bowl.
And then, Gronk not being a blocker. Or the weeks that...
Nobody made you draft Gronk. That was a bad draft choice.
Look. And then also the weeks when I needed fucking DK to be the main receiver on the fucking Seahawks, Mitchell got those points with Lockett on his lineup. So, you just never know. Speaking of Mitchell, wasn't he was the number 1 seed, huh?
I believe that there was a big deal made about someone being the number 1 seed.
He was quite confident, He
was confident.
It looks like he's going to wind up in 4th spot this year.
I believe he and Nick were very confident. I'm sorry, Nick.
Hey, Nick's put in some work the past couple weeks, so... But,
like I said,
Mitchell's been awfully quiet in the chat this week, too.
He has been quiet.
Yep.
So...
And just so we're clear, I haven't been anti-Mitchell, but you know what? If I recall the recap that you were playing... Sorry, Blake, but just because Justin just said that, I'm going to have to go with Justin this week.
That's right. Mitchell. That's right. Mitchell having that anti-Blake bias. Now... That clip, I cut out the part where I was the first one that said I thought Justin was going to win because I had called early in the season that Blake would get less than 5 wins for the year. That is the thing that hurts me most about this season, is I predicted you to not go over 4 wins, and you ended with 5.
I should have had more.
I think that's arguable.
I should have had more.
You had a very shitty year this year. But so did a lot of people. It wasn't just you.
And now you hating on me for picking up Kamara, man.
I'm not hating on you. I'm just questioning.
You're just mad because I claimed him before you could. And then, you got Dusty picking up other players. You're suggesting Justin.
Like I said, I hope Dusty plays Darrell Henderson Jr. That piece of shit. No, like I said, if I or anyone with, again, a level of moral... shit, I can't think of a word to use right there. Someone with, any level of moral fortitude were to have picked up Alvin Kamara, he would have rode the bench as to prevent an unfair competitive advantage in this sacred thing that we call the Hurricane.
Any other given week, yes. I'm in a fucking shitball. It matters right now.
Any other given week other than the ones that matter.
Justin could have picked him up and put him in his fucking
Actually, he couldn't have because you had the top waiver.
Had I not put in a claim for Kamara, Justin technically could have put in a claim, saw it, picked him up. Because if I was looking at the activity right, Justin was pretty active Wednesday also.
Well, that's because Justin doesn't want to get his 13 pubic hairs waxed any more than, you want to get yours waxed.
Well, Justin's probably been sleeping on his side after last night because Kamara was all up in that ass. So
funny. Seems like someone who has Alvin Kamara on their roster shouldn't be in the shit bowl. That's just what it seems like.
Well, technically, Brian had him on his roster, and he wasn't. He's not even.
Brian was almost in the fucking shit bowl, except he played Justin, and that prevented it. By the way, I do want to say I've tried to get Justin over here 2 of the last 3 times that I've made a video to give his piece, and he has declined, which leads me to believe he is either lacking in confidence or he has just given up, and maybe he accepts the fact that he's going to get waxed. He wants to be a little cuck boy. You going to turn into a little feminine tranny man, Justin? Is that what you're going for? Keeping your long hair? You got 13 facial hairs? You're going to be bald? Is that what you're going for here, Dick? You're letting him beat you. You're not doing it. Why do you have 2 tight ends?
Quote, Justin did say, Brian, I hope you live a long and awful life.
When was that? When did you say that?
Yeah, he said that yesterday when Kamara was going off. I think that was about 4 touchdowns in at that point. Brian, I hope you live a long and awful life.
Does mine? Yeah, must have been. Yeah. Wow.
So I feel like Justin's bitter towards Brian right now. And look, me, I believe in karma, so I mean, I think it's just karma. I mean, if you want to blame it on Brian, blame it on Brian. You know, blame it on Mitchell, blame
it's
it on
karma.
Moss.
Are you saying? What are you saying is karma? That you illegitimately picked up a first-round talent and now you're winning? That's karma? That's karma in effect?
Oh, no.
No, I didn't think so either.
I've got to stay
well,
humble this season. I wanted to talk shit at times whether I was going to win or lose, but I wanted to win as much as possible. And look, I wound up in a shit bowl, but I stayed humble. I feel like all the shit talking Justin talked up.
You were forcefully humbled this year with your barely 5-win season. But you know what?
When I won big.
You did have a couple of big weeks. You are right. You are absolutely correct. I think you put up maybe 188 one week. You had a couple of big weeks. But anyway.
I think I projected to put up 220 something this year.
All right, well, we're going to have to take away the 60 Camaro points and figure out what you actually would have put up.
It's not how it works.
Well, I am kind of like God in this league. If I want to be, so that could be how it works.
Well,
but I haven't made a
from
move.
the championship if that's the case, right?
I haven't made a move. I've stayed
good.
on the sidelines as far as my God.
You alter anybody else's fucking game, then you forfeit the championship in the case that you win.
How does that make any fucking sense?
How does it make any fucking sense for me to be penalized from picking up a legitimate player off the fucking waivers?
I told you I would do you a tremendous favor and put in your highest scoring player, not named Alvin Kamara. And based on your season thus far and the fact that you're in the shit bowl, you normally don't play your highest available player on your team because you yourself have said you drafted a pretty good team.
A decent team. I do have decent players. Look, hey, Aaron Rodgers is
good.
He's the best fucking fantasy quarterback.
He's not. Is he ranked number 1 overall in fantasy this year?
No, but he's still in the top.
He's not
3.
the best. What is his rank? I'm curious. I don't know.
Let's see.
4. Wrong. He's top 4 though. All right, so you're pretty close. Pretty close.
You want to talk about fucking quarterbacks? Look, who the fuck you got?
Oh, I've got 2 rookies because I had Dak Prescott, who was the number 1 overall fantasy quarterback whenever his ankle exploded.
Rank number 9.
You know,
Rank number 9.
Let's show Blake.
This is Moss justifying things.
Let's show Blake what he's completely unaware of. Justin Herbert, as I stated, is a rookie. He was not the starter at the beginning of the year. He did not play it all week 1. Week 2, he was forced into action after
He's played every game.
No. He did not play it all week 1.
He played every game this season except week 1.
Canelo!
And he had a bye week.
He did not play it all week 1. And he is a rookie who is not projected to start until the starting quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, got stabbed in the lungs by the team trainer when trying to administer a numbing shot to his chest. So, literally 5 minutes before kickoff was told, hey, you have to start today. And he went on such a fucking tear that he's been starting ever since. So he's played 1 less game than all of the other quarterbacks, and he is still 9th overall this year. Let's do it.
He's still 9th.
Playing 1 less game than your dude. He's still
You
9th.
keep talking shit. I'm gonna favor Dusty over you in this fucking championship.
I'm not talking shit. I am not talking shit. I've pointed out 2 things. That I have an exceptional
Nobody else in
quarterback.
my fucking position wouldn't have did what I did. That's all I'm saying.
I've been trying to bring up this point, but you keep going on. all about you. Justin stated in his text message, I believe, if you will go back and look, that he would be willing to be waterboarded.
Ooh.
Double check that for me and let's see.